An ancient voice whispering from the void, and it chills my lightless heart.
G'day guys, welcome to another replay casted by myself, DUCKVILLELOL, and we are going into game 2 of mOOnGLaDe versus oGsHero. This is not Liquid Jinro. If you didn't watch game 1, go and watch game 1 first. I don't really care. Go and watch it right now. That was a really cool game. This is not Liquid Jinro. This is actually oGsHero. Of course, Jinro plays Terran, so you should know that anyway. And as we can see here, down here in the bottom left position, we obviously have Hero. He's going to head out here, not looking like he's going to go for any sorts of Forge Expand or anything like that like last game. Just a warning there, I'm not going to spoil anything, so you know, if you haven't watched game 1, not my problem. And mOOnGLaDe up here, up in the top right of Xel'Naga Caverns, the Bat Caverns, is a very cool map. We actually have a lot of people who really starting to like this map now. Earlier on, it was a bit like it was a whinge fest about how open these naturals were. But as people have gotten used to how wide the naturals are, how you can defend them adequately, it's become a really great map, and we've seen some fantastic games on this particular map itself. So we've got this probe coming in here just to scan out what is happening here, looking to see if the pool is up and running or not. And as he can see, for the moment it's not done just yet, but the extractor goes up. So looks as if we may have an extractor first. Obviously that will mean that the speedlings are probably going to be the weapon of choice for the moment. A probe still shooting away at these mOOnGLaDe drones here, but it looks as if the some of the drones are going to fight back when they can. It looks as if this one's going to turn itself into a hatchery if it can. I'm not sure if it's going to make it though. No, it's actually scouting. So the extractor is done. This pool is almost up, well, half up, and we'll see some speedlings as mentioned. So back here at oGsHero's base, we're going to see a gateway coming up just at the moment. Where is the cybernetics core? You'd want to get that started shortly. Not really sure where it is just yet, but he hasn't got it. There it is. He's about to build it now. So he's going to wall off this as best as he can. Not going to be able to stop this drone coming through though. So the drone's going to see that there is just a standard, very one base style opening here from oGsHero. The second gas is going to go up, which does one of two things as well. It obviously gets it ready for some tech. It shows that the Protoss is not going to do that. There's a particular build you can do where you use just the one gas and go off a few gates and go for a timing push that way. But it also stops the this drone from, if the drone wanted to be really annoying, it can come in there and actually stop the second assimilator from being built. So, speaking of annoying, this probe coming in here is going to get chased away by these Zerglings. You want to see this hatchery go down in a second. There it is, and we'll have a look at these probes, the probe being chased away by these Zerglings. Brilliant little micro there. Pulling off a couple of them. We're going to send these other ones to other jobs. As you can see here, splitting them all up. We're going to see the Xel'Naga towers be taken, so he's got some map vision. And this one's going to be the only one that is actually left just to run around the map. And as we can see, he's probably going to try and come in here and actually cut off this probe. Not sure if that's going to happen though, but somehow this drone actually gets inside the base. I think that Zillow is in a bit of a bad position there. Either way, it's not really going to see too much, because now that a stalker is out, it was able to clean up that drone. So the hatchery still coming here from mOOnGLaDe. Speed is almost done, of course. The queen not too happy with the probe coming into its base. It's going to get some lava going and then probably hunt down that probe, but a creep tumor going down. This is one essential thing, as we mentioned, about adapting to this map and how wide open the natural is. One thing for Zergs to do is really to get this this creep tumor going really quickly, because if you don't, and there are some particular plays that especially Terrans can do with Reapers and with Hellions more these days. Of course, you really don't see Reapers too often, but if you don't have creep around for your speedlings to get around on, you can actually lose a lot of production, a lot of drones, and possibly a queen, maybe even a hatch if you're really not careful with what you're doing. So it's good to have that first tumor going up really quickly there. And we do see another Stargate play. So the did mOOnGLaDe see that? I don't think he did. Hang on, I'll just have to grab the right thing. He did actually see the Stargate, so knows the void ray is on the way. The void ray is on the ray. I don't know. You guys choose. So we're probably going to see a the lair get done, and then maybe some Hydras again. Not really sure. We do have a lot of Zerglings down here. This is interesting to see this many Zerglings here out at the front, perhaps just to make sure that no attacks come through from oGsHero, but the pylon is now done, so he's going to be switching into just a standard sort of natural here, grabbing the natural and going off this one base play with the Void Ray, providing a little bit of harass if he can. We do see the Void Ray just up at the 9 o'clock position just at the moment on the map. More Zerglings coming down here. I'm not sure if mOOnGLaDe thinks he might be able to bust in. He's certainly not with those sentries there, able to block the ramp, but looks as if he's going to try and go to town on this Nexus, doing some brilliant micro there with these Zerglings, making the Nexus cancel. And while that is all happening here, a couple of Queens up at the top position are going to have to fend off this Void Ray, maybe need to micro that back a little bit, but he's doing a great job either way. The Void Ray gets pushed back, and these Zerglings have done a great job in actually getting this Nexus cancelled, so this is only just being rebuilt right about now. So nice little job there from mOOnGLaDe, stopping that natural from going up. This Void Ray, however, is still not happy that he didn't get any kills, and in fact 35 HP left on that Overlord, and it looks as if he's going to keep the third level of the Void Ray charged up, and the Zerglings are just going to work away on those rocks, but it looks as if the Void Ray is not actually going to be able to kill anything, because the Queen has come this far down from where it started, so it's going to put a few more creep tumors down. Once again, as we mentioned in game 1, mOOnGLaDe doing a great job of recarpeting the maps with the creep tumors, putting down creep tumors and keeping them moving around all the time, which is great to see. And we're going to see these Zerglings running around, not really sure if he's going to be able to get anything done just for the time being, but he will be able to keep a little bit of map presence there. Obviously the Void Ray is going to be a little bit of a counter to the Zerglings on the most part. We'll be able to see where the Zerglings are and be able to just provide a tiny bit of damage. Of course, Void Ray is not the best weapons against Zerglings anyway, but finally, the Forge is up along with this Nexus, and it will see a couple of cannons go down, no doubt. A robotics facility on the way, so no more Stargate tech, unlike last game where we did see a few Phoenix coming out. We won't see any more. This Void Ray coming in to scout, just having a look to see what is happening over here in the Zerg base. Going to get caught out by this Hydra, not really sure that's the best idea. He's going to go home and does not want to hang out with the Hydras because they are not cool to party with. The third base here going down very quickly here from mOOnGLaDe at the gold expansion. He's obviously got great map presence and vision with his creep tumors all over the place. As we can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think that's all 4 active creep tumors going around the map. So if he keeps it up, he'll have vision all over the place and have some great creep for his Hydras to run around on, because as we know, Hydras actually need the creep to run around on because their particular brand of shoes does not work that well on normal terrain. So here we have an Overseer just taking a little bit of damage from that Void Ray, and the Hydras coming across to stop that. But Overseer is going to try and look to get in here and actually follow what is happening in the Protoss main, but looks as if we have a little bit of a troop move out here from oGsHero. He's going to spot that Overseer was coming through, but takes it out just in time. The Overlord speed is actually done, so the Overseers are quite fast now. A little bit of a transfer going on. The Void Ray coming across. Void Ray spots that this gold is up, and some drones have now transferred across. Hydras and Lings coming across. Lings unsure what to do because they do not have any way to attack air. Maybe if they like jump really high, they can actually get up there and hit the Void Ray, but the Hydras get in there, and the Hydras have done enough work. So want to see these creep tumors moving out Mr. mOOnGLaDe, but either way, he's done a great job so far. Perhaps moving this one down as well. Not sure just yet what he's going to do, because we do have a very sizable force here from our Protoss player, and he's got a lot of sentries there which are going to provide an ability to wall off. Of course, if you can wall off and cut in half this kind of army, you're in a great position as a Protoss player. So a few more drones here will be really good to see, along with maybe a couple more here, and we will see. Have a look actually at the income tab. We have mOOnGLaDe just in front. It's not a huge amount for the moment, but as we can see again, we actually have a massive probe count from oGsHero. That is one thing that he's done in both of these games so far, is actually just do amazing amounts of probe production. He's actually ahead of the Zerg opponent, which is not something you always see. So we've got the gold now done. A couple drones, no doubt. We'll head into the extractors as well and make sure that the gas income is going nicely. A few more overlords popping out, making sure that mOOnGLaDe does not get supply blocked. And it looks as if our Protoss player is going to head over here and take out his own rocks as well. So, sort of in this position here where both of these guys have resigned to the fact that it's going to be a macro game for the moment. So this one could be quite a long game, folks. So make sure you've got your bottle of water. Got a bottle of water, keeping healthy, and maybe a celery stick and a carrot or something like that. Make sure you're keeping healthy that way, because this one could be a long ride. But we'll see what happens, because it looks as if oGsHero is just poked up here to the Xel'Naga Tower. He's just having a look around. Can see that there are a lot of Hydras, a lot of Zerglings here. And as we can hear, a few more Stalkers coming up, and a Colossus as well. So these creep tumors finally moving down here. Probably the other one over here as well. Yes, it is indeed. And this one almost getting down to the gold. That would have been quite hilarious if he was able to stop the Protoss gold by purely creep blocking it. And the Protoss forces are going to have to get to work here, because the Hydras, no, they're not. So they were going to have to get to work, but turns out it was a day off. It was a public holiday, so that's all good. They don't need to go to town. And we will see what happens from here. Some Corruptors are now out for mOOnGLaDe. He's going to be able to fight off some of those Colossi if possible. Some force fields going down, trying to trap some of those units. And now that the Observer is out, oGsHero can finally start getting rid of some of these creep tumors. I really want to see another one perhaps going down this hallway as well, just to make sure this is all covered off. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. And some more Corruptors just popping out, I believe. I think we just heard them. Yes, there are. There's 3 on the way. And it looks as if Hero is still trying to just make sure he can clean up all these creep tumors. The Corruptors smelling the scent of some Colossi just over here, but they're not going to get anything they want, because the Stalkers are going to make sure they put an end to that. A couple of shots going off there on that Zergling. The Zergling marching it to death there. But it looks as if we've lost the Xel'Naga Watchtower here from mOOnGLaDe, so he doesn't have as much vision as he did before. But he's still certainly got a great amount of units here. Not really sure where these Overlords are going. Apparently there's a party over here, just in this part of the Xel'Naga cabins. Perhaps that's where all the cool stuff happened. Looks as if mOOnGLaDe's going to actually get rid of his rocks as well. Make sure he can actually run in here and defend if needed. As you can see, now that the rocks are gone, the units can come in and defend through here. But nothing really too much happening just for the moment, guys. So sort of just ranting aimlessly. But maybe a battle here. The Hydra's coming across. I'm not sure if this is the best idea for mOOnGLaDe. He does have... We actually see Hallucinate. That is actually really cool. Hallucinated Colossi going up. Hallucinated Phoenix going up. That's going to distract some of these Corruptors, but it doesn't actually. So we do see all of the Colossi now going down. Some of the fake Phoenix are now being shot at. The Hydras have been mostly mopped up by the Colossi that were there. And of course the Stalkers taking shots at these pointless Colossi that are actually hallucinations. So the Stalker's doing a great job mopping up all of those Hydras there. And that looks as if that was a decent win there for our Protoss player oGsHero. So check this. We've still got a couple of fake Colossi still around, so it was interesting to see. You don't actually see hallucination too much, especially in that sort of situation. You may see it at the start of a game for scouting around with a Phoenix, but you don't really see it in battles all too often. So mOOnGLaDe has remacroed up. He's got a lot of Hydras this time now that there are a lot of Stalkers out, so he's going to try and use the Roaches to soak up some of the damage, and the Hydras will do a bit of damage as well. But the Corruptors trying to get in there to shoot away at that Colossi, but the Colossi being microed beautifully there by oGsHero. Corruptors coming across again, still in a bad position for them to be coming through. The Stalkers still going to town on those Roaches. Somehow that Nexus did actually get focus fired without losing too many of the Zerg forces there. So oGsHero with his 10 bajillion probes still going to be streaming away at that gold expansion. He's up to 74 probes again. This guy is insane. He's an absolute machine with his probe production. We do see a DT Shrine is on the way. Where is it? There it is. Dark Shrine on the way from oGsHero. He's probably going to try and do perhaps some warp-ins behind the back of mOOnGLaDe and see if he can actually dispatch some of the drones that are working away at mOOnGLaDe's expansions. We do have the main almost mined out here, so we'll probably have to see another expansion going up. And as we say that, we do actually see one over here. The fifth base, in fact, over here at the 9 o'clock position. So we'll see if mOOnGLaDe can hold that up, and then it'll be a really good position for him, because that means he's got a gold and a 5th base, of course, up and running. Meanwhile, our Protoss player has barely just got his gold now. So he's really only surviving on the fact that he's got so many probes, that he's got this massive income. So a little bit of a ring around the rosy here at the middle there. The Stalkers coming across. They are not going to be able to do too much, because the Hydras and the Roaches coming through, they're blinking away. And we do see that the Hydras are still going to chase after these Stalkers. You don't want to go too far. We do have a couple of Colossi here, as we can see, and the +2 weapons almost done for mOOnGLaDe, so he's going to be able to make short work of some of these units. But it looks as if some corruption going down on those Colossi, and the Corruptors are doing a great job cleaning those up, but there's just not enough here for mOOnGLaDe. I would suspect these Protoss forces do have their +2 to weapons, so these Stalkers are doing an absolute huge amount of damage there, cleaning up all those Hydras and a lot of those Corruptors as well. And Immortal coming out here just to make sure he can clean up any Roaches that pop up again, because as we can see, we do have a lot of Roaches coming through. These Roaches not really sure where they're going. They got the wrong directions on Google Maps, but we will see how mOOnGLaDe reacts to these Stalkers with this massive amount of damage that they're doing. I would suspect we're going to see a Great Aspire popping up in a jiffy. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Not sure just yet. He does have the 5th base. That's kind of the time when you would want to move on to it. There it is. Nope, cancelled. Nope, not sure what's happening here. Perhaps he doesn't want it just for the moment, but it looks as if an attack is going down on that 5th base. No, it's not. The Stalkers deciding that it's not the coolest idea to come in here and attack the 5th base, but they do come back, making me look like a fool. Taking shots at this hatchery. The hatchery is probably going to go down. These Stalkers are going to want to blink away as fast as possible. However, they are in a really terrible spot, as we can see here. The Zerglings coming around. They're going to be able to surround it, but it's not going to matter too much. These Stalkers doing a great job here. A little bit Kiwi Khaki-esque here, with some awesome Blink Stalkers running around the map, causing all sorts of trouble there. And no response from the Zerg player. He's going to now blink down here. Going to take care of this Queen and perhaps this hatch if he's good enough, but no, he's just going to stick with not be too greedy, and just sort of retreat now with these Stalkers. So great little job there running around. The 5th base is already being rebuilt here from mOOnGLaDe. We still do not actually have the Great Aspire on the way, so there's a lot of Zerglings, a lot of Hydras on the way from mOOnGLaDe, so he's going to need to make sure he can keep all of these units nice and safe for the moment. There are still, look at all this, there's a whole heap of Stalkers out at the moment. A DT now coming through, trying to see what havoc he can cause. This guy, make sure you have an oGsHero or something ready, because this guy is an absolute ninja. Coming in here, spots that the 5th base is up and running, attempts to chase after this drone. I'm not sure if this is a good idea from the DT, but it looks as if we have mOOnGLaDe now moving down here with his forces. He's got a sizable amount. I would not say this is a game-winning amount of units, because there are that many Protoss forces just across the ridge. But they're coming in here. They are probably going to get surrounded, and we do see a surround coming up here. And I would not be surprised if these units get sort of sacrificed here to make sure he can kill a lot of the probes and the Nexus there, of course. And the surround is now coming in here. Stalkers on one side. Do we have any other thing? No, nothing else on the other side. We do see some great blink micro there. So Corruptor's not really able to do anything at all there. So oGsHero is going to clean up every single unit that is here. The Corruptors might get away though, but the Hydras are definitely not going to get away. A blink going down to make sure he can chase down all of these Corruptors if possible. He's not going to get these guys because they are just getting away just in time. So those Sentinel wannabes, the Corruptors, are going to escape. We do have the Great Aspire finally. I didn't actually see that on the production tab. My bad. You guys probably did. So we do have a Great Aspire on the way, done in fact, so we're probably going to see these Corruptors switch over into Broodlords. I would not be surprised if that was the case. Some Hydras are the only thing sitting here between this massive Stalker army with a couple of Mortals built in for fun, and the forces are just going to sit here, make sure he can just chilling out at the Xel'Naga Watchtower, just watching from the balcony, just seeing what's happening here at the Zerg side of the map. Stalkers, however, now moving in here. We do have +3 to weapons on these Stalkers. They do not have armor or shields just yet, but there is a whole heap of them, so I'm not really sure if you need armor or shields because there are just that many. The Hydras and the Broodlords now popping finally. A DT here, I did not actually see. Sorry, I think that 5th base must have gone down to the DT. but the Broodlords now coming across. The Broodlords will be able to do nicely against the Immortals, but against these Blink Stalkers it is another story, because there's just not enough cliffs for, if like, there's not cliffs for the Broodlords to use. But if actually, if oGsHero goes down there, that's probably not the best idea. But he's splitting up his forces using a nice little bit of micro. We do have an attack here. A whole heap of Zerglings came in to this gold expansion. The Hydra's also coming across, and the Broodlords are in this perfect position here where nothing can really hit them, and the Broodlords are now going to wail away, throwing those little babies down at the Stalkers, and the Stalkers just getting eaten up by the Broodlings, because that's how the Broodlings roll. And it looks as if that the 5th base, in fact, from oGsHero also gets spotted by mOOnGLaDe, sending over some drones. GG from mOOnGLaDe. So mOOnGLaDe does not win that one. He just has... he's just really running low on the resources, as you can see there, just actually falling behind on his production. He lost the hatchery over here at the 4th base, and also, of course, the 3rd and the 5th are also gone. So mOOnGLaDe just in a really bad spot there. These Blink Stalkers would have ripped up these Broodlords, and of course these extra Hydras here. So that's why we did see the GG there from mOOnGLaDe. Make sure you leave some comments, you subscribe, go check out the mOOnGLaDe fan club thread on teamliquid.net. Show your support for mOOnGLaDe. He is in the round of 64 now, and we'll see you guys in Game 3. Cheers.